y'all. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome, welcome. Oh my goodness. If you are in the Midwest, you probably got some tornadoes blowing through, honey. But yes, so I'm glad you are here with me. I'm excited for what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm giving people some time to get in the room. If you are new to my channel, thanks for hanging out with me. Let me see if I can share just something that's relevant. So I'm going to be talking about a couple of books today. The one that's up right now is called Embrace Your Crown and Open Seven Gates to Find and Overcome Heartbreak. So I guess I'll start with that one since it's up there first. But I'm just real excited. Okay. So I have been real busy. I'm sure all of us have been real busy, focusing on what's important, what we would like to accomplish, what we would like to see in life. I have been enjoying this time. You know what? Matter of fact, I know what I want to talk about first. I got to talk about this first because many of y'all know we are walking into Juneteenth. Juneteenth is important because this is the celebration that the African Americans, those that have ancestors that were enslaved in this country, essentially who, or even those that care about, you know what I'm saying, what happened in this country when it came to freeing emancipating the slaves. Because as you know, the 4th of July did not set them free. And because of that, this is the holiday or the time that many of us should be more willingly, openly understanding and excited to celebrate a time in which our ancestors were set free or emancipated in this country, which I do think is something worth having alive about, talking about, communicating, and reminding us about. You know, when we read the Bible says to do certain things in remembrance of me. And when I think about that, I think about how we need to do things that bring us in remembrance of what the Father is doing and has done in our lives. And so I wanted to talk a bit about something that I did create called Your Legacy Moment. I created Your Legacy Moment, aka Preserve Your Legacy, because I believe our stories are important. You know, I believe they're important not just because of what we may accomplish in life that other people may attribute value to. I believe it's important because it keeps us from being erased. You know, it keeps our stories, our passion, our dreams, our vision, our purpose from being erased. And what better way to ensure or to allow the world to hear your voice, to sense your purpose, see your passion, other than, you know, sharing it with the world or definitely sharing it with your family. And so I wanted to find a way to help people to do that. Yes, I'm a published author of 43 books. I'm an avid speaker for people, for circumstances, situations that are impacting people, and whether they are children, whether they're adults, young adults, women, men, grandparents, even. And I also span, of course, a couple of different categories as far as scope of what I write about. And I write about what I'm passionate about, and I see that the Father has me to bring value there. And one of the things that I believe I can bring a whole lot of value to is helping people to preserve their stories, tell their stories. With my background, many of you may not know some things about me. I realize I do these lives, but I tend to stay focused on the content and I may not share a whole lot about my background or me. So I felt like today was a good day, you know, preserve your legacy. We're going into Juneteenth. So yeah, so just a little bit about me. I've been in media for a long time. Now over 20 years I've been in media. So I started my career young, you know, essentially writing. Writing has been something I've done to express my own thoughts. I do it just because, not even because of the money. I do it because I enjoy it. And it started when I was a child, really, middle school, especially. I got more consistent in writing. Elementary, it was funny because they was going to hold me back in first grade because I couldn't read. I was struggling with phonics, ironically. And now I'm a writer for a living. So I get why, you know, some children may need, you know, more time or books that are more entertaining, even though they might be earlier beginner books, because I used to be one of those children that struggled with phonics. And I grew into a person that can speak and write and talk very well. So if your children are struggling, I don't want you to feel as if you gotta, throw a book at them, or get down on yourself, or count them out, or make yourself feel like you failed in some kind of way, because there is no failure for those that are committed to seeing their children win. Yes, some children might have to go a different way or a different route in order to get to what other people may be able to get to more faster or easily, but it won't count out what is in store for them. And so, yeah, so I started off in that way. And then as I started reading, writing, and all that good stuff, then I had an interest in entertaining. So since I was young, I used to do skits. I used to play Make Me Laugh with my family. So all of us developed our comedic gene, whether we were really funny or so so. So we used to do all kinds of stuff, either physically tell jokes, do impersonations of, celebrities that we liked at the time or my mom liked. And we just thought they had interesting words or lyrics in their songs, or we found them funny. And so me and my siblings, it was five of us that grew up together in the same house, and we would all just kind of feed off each other and make each other laugh, which was the essence of the game. So I think that's where, this personality that I have comes from, is that I grew up in a family that was very loving and funny and giving. And, you could leave your money on the counter and nobody would steal your stuff. I mean, that's the type of family I grew up with. And, I can trust any of my siblings with anything that I have, and I know it will be all right. And I know that isn't everybody's story. But I do pray that you can definitely connect with it. I pray you can experience something like that through some of my books and through some of my passions, through some of my poems, because finding a love like that, with family and in siblings is important. And this is what helps children to stay connected even as they get older. It's what helps cousins to stay close, and it helps family to stay family, is by finding ways to love each other, have fun with each other, even if you ain't got no money. And when we were growing up, we didn't have money wasn't how we had fun. I laugh at how my children and my nieces and nephews like live today, because we didn't have technology. We barely had a television set we could control. My mom did most of that. And oftentimes it was off, if I'm honest. We spent a lot of time outside running around with ourselves, playing tag or something like that. So growing up, we were very athletic in that sense. Not that we could really play ball or anything to go get no scholarships, but we stayed active. And I think that's too what kept us all mindful of being healthy and wanting to take care of our body and, grow to be young as we got older. Another thing too, like I would say about like, just preserving your legacy that I find to be important is I wanted to make sure I accomplished everything I dreamt about as a child. So when I was young, I wanted to go into fashion. I wanted to go in, never anything necessarily beauty, which was not, it was just kind of funny, but I always wanted to go into like making clothes, or sewing was something I picked up in middle school. And then I just kind of kept it in the background. I learned how to knit, how to crochet, how to sew, which is kind of funny. I did all these old school things because I do believe in history. I even picked up quilting for a minute. So I know how to do it. I think that's what's important. It's not so much that I pick up everything that my ancestors has done, or that I do what they do, how they do it, but that I learn what they do, why they do it. Quilting, I don't know if you knew this, but quilts back in the day, especially, during the times of slavery, they had messages and maps quilted into the fabric. So the fabric wasn't just fabric, it was a map. So when people did run away, they would know how to get to where they were trying to get to, because the map gave them landmines, landmarks for how they can get to where they would be free, or find their family members and all kinds of stuff. And so, quilting is more than just seeing decorative, or, these eclectic fabrics coming together and looking awesome. It really carried a very strong message. And really, it's a part of our history. It's a part of American history, because, it was something that was created out of a circumstance. And so, this is the type of stuff that you want to put in preserving your legacy. When I worked for the House of Blues, the International House of Blues Foundation, their biggest thing is about folk art. And folk art is about creating art using recyclable or reusable materials, stuff that you get for free from the trash or whatever. It's not about acrylic paints and, some kind of, I would say, fancy education or even formal education. It was about using what you had accessible to you and creating out of your experience. And some of my favorite artists were Roy Almond, and he was a pastor who used to carve his pieces. He used to carve his pieces in wood essentially, and he would paint it. And the cool aspect of what he was doing is he did a lot of 3D art, but it was like on a but it was portrait style. So it wasn't like completely 3D where you can walk around it. It was flat, but he carved his stuff into the paper. So that was his kind of trademark. And then I liked Byron. Can't remember his last name, but I know Byron was in his name. Archie Byron. There it is. Archie Byron was cool because Archie Byron's dad worked in a gun shop, and his job was to basically carve out the handles of the guns. And so when he would carve out the handles, of course, he would leave a lot of sawdust behind. And Archie's job was to sweep up the sawdust and throw it away. Archie was like, yo, this is a lot of sawdust. What can I do with this? So he ended up mixing this sawdust with water and glue and made a paste. And out of that paste, he made all of his paintings. And if you look inside the House of Blues, like venues and clubs that people perform in, you will see the art of these artists on the walls. And Archie had quite a few pieces, and his stuff is like bumpy and rigid. And he would make a lot of pieces that will kind of like hint back to places in Africa. And that was his way of staying connected to what he may never see. And so when we are in a position where we may not feel like we're going to get to where we need to get to, or we may not see, a sunny beach or make it to Paris, it's okay to bring Paris or the sunny beach to you. What I would say is when we are looking at, how to preserve our legacy or how to bring, the fun, the life, the entertainment to our lives, sometimes it may not come in the form of spending the money to get there. Sometimes it comes in the form of finding how to reinvent what you want to see in your reality and pull it from your dreams and put it in a way where you can appreciate it. Some people will say, oh, that's crazy. But if you've ever seen The Greatest Showman, what I love about that movie is before he encountered and had all of this wealth and power and prestige and all this other stuff, he used what he had and even what other people had, and he turned something out of it. And when his daughters had a birthday and he thought he didn't have nothing to give them, he ended up having a candle and a like a lantern top, and he ended up spinning the lantern with a lit candle, and it lit up the whole top of the roof, and they were playing in sheets and stuff. And it's the simple things that we find a way to still show our love to people that we care about, that matters the most. And so, I want to encourage you as you're looking at Juneteenth, look at how you can bring what matters the most into your world. And I would dare say what matters the most is family. What matters the most is your legacy. What matters the most is what you can and want to leave behind for people, for friends, for your children. And, when I came up with this concept to preserve your legacy, which is the QR code that's showing, it was about how can we do that? How can we not lose our heritage, our ancestry, or even preserve the things we want to remember about ourselves, or we want our children and grandchildren to remember about us and not lean on our memories, which fade over time. And essentially, this is a perfect program if this is something that you're wanting to do. I know for a lot of our grandparents and seniors, a lot of them are transitioning right now. I've been to numerous funerals just this first half of the year, and I'm sure you have too. And the question is what did we write down? What can we print tomorrow and give to everybody? And for most of us, the answer is nothing. And I believe that should change. Another thing that I think is something we may not talk about a whole lot, but I think we should talk about is having a will and testament or even life insurance. I know these are things that make some people uncomfortable, or we don't want to have to think about of our end of life expenses and stuff like that. I mean, these words kind of pull away from some of the anxiety that can come from thinking about what happens when you leave. But I believe that there is a way to, have these conversations and embrace them, because it reminds you to live while you're living. Because when you realize someday you won't be here, it will help you to understand that I really need to make sure my children get the fundamental basics. I really need to make sure that I'm not only living for today, but I'm also preserving tomorrow. Because if I don't, then who's going to remember it? Who's going to know it? How are they going to make sure that our children stand on the shoulders of us? They can't do that if they don't have a shoulder to stand on. I love that parable. It's an African parable, by the way, where it says that we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. And I believe that. And I pray most of us start to believe that too. I know it's real easy to get so busy and we kind of push and our grandparents and parents away, and we're like, yeah, I'm going to come visit, I'm going to, and we kind of never get around to it. We might have good intentions, and sometimes we get around to seeing them, but in that time we may not think to write it down or to capture the recipes that we wish and we pray someday to have and pass on to our children. We're not thinking about it when they're living, or we might not spend the time to learn how to make it when they say, I'm gonna teach you, because now it may be an inconvenience to us. But I want to just encourage you today to allow your schedule to be disrupted. Yeah. Allow your life sometimes to be disrupted. Allow sometimes for delays, because delays is how you also really enjoy the full embodiment of life. Life is full of disruptions. I don't want to say distractions, but I will say disruptions. And I would say children bring them, family bring them, parents can bring them. And in the moment, we may not be happy about them at all. In fact, we might be really upset. But I want you to breathe. I mean, I know I have to remind myself to do it, because sometimes I have to tell my children, oh my gosh, I have this to do and this to do and this to do. And they just look at me like, that okay, that's fine, mom, but I need you to do this. And I have to slow myself down and allow for the disruption. And when I do, I find out that I'm there for them. And in some part of their heart, they remember it. And then I remember that, look, Lord, even if you had to sit me down for 5 to 10 or 20 minutes, life is not going to completely implode because I took time out for myself. I want you to get to a point where you don't feel guilty to do something for yourself. We live in a world where everybody is so quick to tell you, give of yourself, give of yourself. And some of us give so much that we don't take time to preserve anything for ourselves. So I want to encourage you to allow yourself to do that too, because there's nothing wrong with being able to do something that you need to do for you. And I believe one of those things is preserving your legacy. I believe one of those things is determining what kind of program you may want, or having somebody to take some of this burden off your family so they're not bombarded with grieving your loss and figuring out the stuff that is uncomfortable to talk about right now. So, in this legacy plan, it comes with a couple of different things that I believe people could need and use. One, we interview people and we do video recordings, audio recordings to essentially cut them together and make a reel or a video to capture the moments. Another thing we do is I write and edit stories to make sure that they capture the essence of the person wanting to memorialize their life and give it as a gift, or even monetize it if you want to publish it. That's also doable. And then another thing that we essentially do is to make sure, like, your program is done, ensuring that the things that you want to be implemented for when you transition are being done, and the people you want to have care and support and all these other things, they can get these videos you reserved for a time like this. And our my job, my company's job, is to make sure they get what you put in place for them to have. And I think sometimes the best times to hear a word from your mom or your dad or somebody is when you think that they're gone, especially if those words can help a person move on or know that you are at peace or at rest and stuff like that. I love seeing it in movies. I don't know if you guys have ever seen movies where, the whole movie is kind of set up about a video or something like that that's left for family members to be able to, see their loved ones after they pass on, and they get it. And they're like, to me, it's like one of the best parts of the film. And I was like, Lord, how can I bring my background in film, television, scripting, writing, and publishing into something that could really fit into honestly an average person's life, because writing is a part of life. Video and audio and media is really a part of our lives, but too often we celebrate people that we'll never meet. And I want us to get to a point where we can celebrate the people that fed us and clothed us and loved us, and maybe the people that we wanted to do that for, or etc. So that's what preserving your legacy is all about. Some of the free gifts that we give to people that do services with this is we'll give you a free will and testament kit. So if you don't currently have a will, wills can cost up to $2,000 to file. It's something you can do for free. And when you do ultimately file this will and testament, it will allow you to preserve your legacy. It allows you not to have to go to probate court, where the judge will basically split half of your assets immediately in half. Some people might say, well, I don't have anything to put aside. You got a bank account, you do. If you have money in it, you will. If you own a car, you will. So all of these things become part of probate if you don't have something in place to pass it on to someone. Another thing that we are able to give, you do have to do our onboarding video call to be able to get access to these items. It's part of your onboarding, but you will also get a $2,000 life insurance policy or death certificate. I'm not sure how to word it, but on the call, we'll talk to you more about it. It will be posted on the website. So if you do scan the QR code, you'll see it there. And just in case the QR code may not be as accessible to you, I'm going to type the website in right now, which is yourlegacymoment.com is the website you want to go to be able to check out the services I'm talking about and be able to get some of these phenomenal free gifts that I believe are going to impact our community. I mean, it's not enough to say that Black people need to rise and all this other stuff when we're still doing the same habitual things that leave us in the dark. One of the things that really bothered me, and this is why I created TUG Outreach, is because of the financial gap between, really the African American community, white communities, and Hispanic communities are so large. Typically, on average, the retirement savings for the Black community on average is $600. $600. And that is incredibly low. I mean, most of us are dying either in the negatives or with nothing. But, if we have small life insurance policies or whole life policies that we start young and they're usually $20, $50 a month, then we could actually retire or even, end our lives with something for our children or not having to do GoFundMe's to bury or to have a funeral. And, because these things matter. Like, you are valuable. And I think we have to remember that we're valuable while we walk the earth, while we work, and even when we fall asleep until the Father comes to redeem us and call us back home and, create a new heaven and new earth. I can go further, but I'm gonna try to keep it I'm gonna try to keep it where it's at. But ultimately, yeah. So I wanted to make sure that I really dedicated time to talk about this, especially going into Juneteenth and expressing the importance of preserving your legacy and just knowing the value of that. So if this is something that you're wanting to do, needing to do for yourself, for your mom or your dad or your in-laws, I have a lot of people that are like, man, Crystal, I've been praying about this. And so if you've been praying about something that can really help you piece, your end of life objectives into something that can be manageable and affordable, then I want you to definitely check out your legacy moment. I mean, some of our plans you ultimately can do for a couple $100s. And to know that you are going to preserve an aspect of your history and get some free gifts, that are going to be like a will and testament, a $2,000 policy, and some other stuff. And I mean, where else can you get it? I mean, so I want to make sure I'm bringing these things to our community because other communities have been benefiting from this stuff for a long time, a long time. And, the way that we overcome is through getting education, quality education, and honestly, wisdom. I mean, wisdom is something more than education or information. Wisdom is understanding how something works and then understanding how it impacts you and how it can bless or essentially protect and extend what you're wanting to accomplish. So, if right now you're wanting to preserve your legacy or make sure that when you pass away, you're not leaving a lot of debt, or you get to get what you leave what your to your children, what you wish somebody would have left to you. I mean, that's how I feel. And when I started feeling like that, I ended up getting policies for all of us. Like all my children have one. And some of the benefits of having whole life on with children is one, unfortunately, if they untimely pass away, and we don't anticipate our children passing away, nobody thinks like that. But should that happen, I had a really close niece who passed away when she was 16, and nobody thought, she would pass away young, even though she had health issues. We just thought, she would learn to live with them, and she lived 16 years, ultimately with it, but it claimed her life and we weren't ready. My sister wasn't ready, our family wasn't ready. And so for other people that are going through that, I wanted to make sure that I did what I could to recognize her and other families that are going through something like that. And so your legacy moment is something very personal, because I wish, that was something we would have done for her at the right time, because, it would have saved my sister thousands of dollars. And I mean like 15,000, to bury someone when you're not anticipating it is expensive. And some of us are taking out loans. Some of us are, taking out mortgages on our homes and all kinds of stuff to bury people we never thought was going to go. And so this is what life insurance is for, partly. Another thing that life insurance is for, which I do like, a positive part of it, is, your children are going to get older when they're 20 and 30 and 40 years old. You don't want to have to come out of pocket to buy them houses or buy them college degrees and taking it. And have y'all seen what college costs now? It's like $100,000 to go to a institution, and most of them are coming out of college making $30,000 and $40,000 a year. So they're already upside down for like 5 years, which is insane. So life insurance, whole life specifically, bridges the gap between what stuff costs, what they're going to make, what they're going to have, and it allows them to get married and all kinds of stuff, and they can use their whole life policies. And when I say use their whole life, I mean use their whole life. So if you start when they're young, by the time they're 40, they can have 50,000, 100,000, 300,000, just depending on how much you put in there, and it's tax free. Tax free. So there are ways of essentially blessing your children, and I mean glowing them up in the right ways. And so this is one of the things that I know I wanted to talk about today. I know I wanted to bring out today, in memory of my niece. She passed a week before her birthday, so around June 3rd. Her birthday was June 11th, so it was in this month, a few years ago. And so I'm like, okay, it just reminds me to never, you don't never want to forget. And it's easy to do. It's easy to get busy and say, oh, this is more important. But them having a cell phone and them having a life insurance policy, if you had to choose, I would go with the life insurance policy, at least for the time being, because most of them don't have jobs to pay you back or anything. And a lot of these phones are causing other problems. Two, Wi-Fi can be put on phones even if they are not necessarily physically on a plan. So they can have a phone and you can just use a Wi-Fi plan with like Xfinity and a couple other things. You can also do a $25 a month plan with like T-Mobile. So there are ways to get your children what they need and not necessarily what they want. So if you're spending $50 a month on them to have a phone, use half of it for the phone, use the other half for a life insurance policy. And that way they'll have a phone and some money when this is all over with. And also, too, when you're ready to buy them cars, a lot of us don't have $5,000, $10,000 laying around to buy no baby, no car. And especially with the insurance premiums that go up because of them and them being new drivers. So, like, all of these expenses could be thought about, prepared for using whole life insurance. But yeah, I don't want to talk, the whole live on, life insurance, but I wanted to make sure that I put it in here, that I talked about preserving your legacy and how I can essentially help and how this really can bless you. But click on it, share it, send a comment. So if that's something that could bless you, I'll make sure that I'll check it out. If you do need me, you could put a message or something like that in the comments or DM me, and I can make sure you get the information if you're still curious about learning about what comes free, essentially when you partner with us. And even if you decide not to do this, but you want to get, some of the benefits that we offer free, like the will and testament kit or the policy and some of these other things, you can come and do, just a not a presentation, but a consultation with us, and we'll talk to you and see what plan might be best. And if we can find one, great. And if we don't, we'll still give you, those free bonuses as a gift to you, because this is how we build family. This is how we preserve your legacy too. It's not about always making money off of you or with you, but it's also about giving you something that we know is benefiting you, your family, your community. And we believe when the right time or the right thing comes across, you'll remember us and work with us in the future. So definitely that's what I want to say about that. Now, about the author side, because I got to switch gears. I had to put that there. And then I wanted to switch gears real quick. So there is a lot of new stuff happening right now in my world. One of my latest books just came in today. So hold on, let me switch this QR code out because that's an old one. Oh my goodness, you should see how I have to scroll through my QR codes just so I can post the right one, because I have so many books and so many things to share. This is my latest book. So if you've been waiting on this book, I did a live on this book a few days ago. This is The Old Man Sam and His Cat. Okay. The Old Man Sam and His Cat. You can buy this book right now using the QR code. If when you scan it, it's going to offer you two ways to get the book. You can get the physical book, which I recommend if you want to get it in the hands of children, or you can get the digital copy if you have children that like tablets and stuff like that. It's $7, right? $7, I think 50 cents if you want the digital copy. If you want a physical copy, they're about $15. They do come signed and they do come mailed with tracking. So yeah, so they come shipped to your door and all that good stuff. I'm so excited about this book because this book is meant for new readers, right? So this old man Sam likes his cat Dan. In this story, see how Sam and Dan spend their time. This is the back of the book. The key to this book here is that when I was younger, like I said a little while ago, I was struggling with reading. They were going to hold me back in first grade because they said that I couldn't read. And the truth was, I couldn't. I was really struggling with phonics. And I wanted to find a book I liked. You know how hard it is to find a book that A has other kinds of characters in it than just Jan and Tom and some of these names that I never saw in my community. I wanted to create a book that includes names that you will hear in your communities, that does have representation, that also includes a storyline with a good story, that also encouraged the sight words that early readers need to learn. They're on here. I also wanted to make sure that you can get 70 sight words and it not be overwhelming. If you have a young person that is 3, 4, 5, and even as high as 6 that is looking for an early reader book, this book is the book you can start them with. What I love about this book is the action. Nobody wants to read a book and it is boring. I get it. Not even children. They don't care how cute it looks. They want something that is exciting, something that includes something they see every day and can make them feel warm and fuzzy inside, or even a little scared. So this book has adventure. It has definitely short sentences, right? So I'm gonna read this to you so you can check out this book. If you want to get it, if you like it, go ahead and scan the QR code. I'll drop the title in the comments just so that you can read it. I know on some platforms you don't get to access the comments. So I'm just going to throw up my website real quick. And my website, in case you don't know yet, is author K for Crystal, LEE.com. So I'm going to throw my website up as a chat message just in case. So if you cannot scan the QR code or click it, you'll be able to see where my website is. So again, when you order it from authorklee.com, it will come signed to you. This is the only way to get the digital copy. So if you want to get the ebook, you have to go to my website, authorklee.com. Okay. On Amazon and all those other stores, yes, this book is on there. Yes, it does cost a bit more. I believe it's like $17.99. Yes, it will not come signed because it's coming from distribution partners. So you won't get my signature and you won't get any bonuses that I hand out to those that buy books from me that I give out for free. So if you want to get those freebies that I give out for certain books at different times, then you want to buy it from my website, authorklee.com. Okay. So back to this book. All right. So this book is called The Old Man Sam and His Cat. And this is the first page. Okay. Yes, yes. So this is the old man Sam. Sam sits and he is not sad. Yeah, he's very excited, y'all. He's very excited. If y'all have grandparents, shout out to the grandparents out there that's buying books for their grandchildren. I want to let you know this book is a book you want to get. The Old Man Sam and His Cat. If you have toddlers or just new readers, level 1 readers, this is the book you want to get for him, right? So he has a cat. This is the cat Dan. So he has a cat, and this is the cat Dan. I know these sentences sound really, really simple. They are not complex. They're not hard to understand. They're not hard for them to read on their own. This does increase their sight words. So that's the reason why the sentences are very simple. There's no complex sentences in this book on purpose. But I do introduce punctuation so that they can become more familiar with punctuation as well, like quotations for when people are speaking, commas are in here, periods, question marks, even an exclamation mark. So they'll understand some of these grammatical elements that will be in sentences. The old man says, "Hi, Dan." The two sat to chat. So here is him asking, talking to Dan, and then this is the two of them sitting down to chat at the table. Now, as you can see, the graphics in this book are pretty decent, meaning like you can tell like the characters are real. You can also see like facial features and of course the representation of the people, the character. I like that it does feature a older African American man. And it does show how there are grandparents that love to read and share in cool and fun stories with their grandchildren. And so I wanted to feature here. My grandfather is hilarious and he loves his great grandchildren. And so I wanted to do a book that kind of reminds me of his jovial personality and his funny quirkiness. And so this book is all definitely a nod to him and my younger son, Nathan, who encouraged me to write the book also because he's in his sight words early reader phase right now. So then it says, then there was a rat. There's the rat. Almost kind of reminds you a little bit of Ratatouille, but it's not Ratatouille. We can't do that because you'll get sued. The old man saw the rat. And so we're already 11 pages into the book. So if you're looking for a book that has page count, because $15 for a book that only has 5 pages, I get it. I wouldn't spend it either. But my books have about 30. This book has 36 pages. So they're going to get quality content in these 30 some odd pages, and you can read it again and again. And it can start off as a book you read to them and then become a book they read to themselves or read to you. So, or read to their younger siblings. I love to have my older son read to my younger son. So, but did Cat see the rat? Sam said bye to the rat and he scat. The cat was not shy. The rat had to go bye bye. Jan saw the cat and got to rat. They sat. So, this is the cat seeing the rat. This is Jan, the friend of the rat, coming to really warn him because he ain't paying attention to the cat that is looking at him, with his eyeballs. So the cat was bad news to the rats. He ate rats. Jan ran, but the rat was fat. So now you got the fat rat. So here is the cat getting closer and closer to the fat rat who could not run. So he sat. The cat got close. The rat said, oh no, he had to move on his toes. So here is the cat now in view, full view of the rat, and the rat seeing it. And then here's that exclamation mark and the quotations. The excitement, the adventure, of course, starts to build as you start getting closer and closer, the cat, to the rat. The old man sat and sat. He saw the cat by the rat. Why does cat go for rat? Glad I do not need a bat with a cat. How many of y'all know if y'all see a rat, y'all ready to beat it with a bat? Get it out your house. The old man is so glad he don't need no kind of weaponry to get rid of rats because he has a cat. And so there is some logical logic to this book, logical connections. I don't believe in just creating books that got the words in it. I want to have books that have a storyline, a purpose, a concept, and something they can take away as well as learn. So the old man is not big on rats, but likes cats. The cat says bye to the rat. And so it says, but the rat is now with Jan. She ran and he did too. The cat said, hey, rat, sit. But he ran and did not sit. How many of y'all know if somebody tell y'all to sit down and they trying to get you, you can't be sitting down. You got to keep it moving. So the cat is telling the rat to sit, but no. So this is the adventures, some of the adventure pages where the action is in the cat's face. It does kind of like, it's good adventure. It's not too scary, but it definitely will be like, oh, wow. It's one of those oh, wow moments, ideally to keep a child wanting to read and see what happens next. So the rat did not cry. He was not shy. He ran out the door. There was no rat no more. The old man said, Dan, he ran on the floor. So this is the rat disappearing because these school, as y'all know, rats don't have bones. And because they don't have bones, they can squeeze through really tiny spaces and get in and out of places that we don't want them to. But we are so glad when they exit, are we not? So the rat ends up leaving out. And now Sam is calling for the cat Dan because there's no rat no more. So he's calling his cat back. So the cat did not eat yet. The cat wants food. Time to eat, Dan, said Sam. So this is the cat now heading back to Sam, his owner, and him waiting on him. So if you love cats, this is a cat lover's book. I love cats sometimes, but I do love dogs. I have a dog, so I don't personally own a cat anymore, but I did growing up, and I love cats. So the cat was now fat. Happy he sat and sat. Dan was a happy cat, and the old man was a happy Sam. So this is how big the cat got by eating its food. And then, of course, it's meant to be funny. And then over here, this is the old man with his cat again. And then ultimately, this is the final page, and the final page of the book literally has the vocabulary for the entire book. So there's one, I know I saw like happy was not back here, but it's one of the words. So there are more than 70 words in this book that are featured. So if you're looking for a good book that will help your young person learn how to read, learn how to, get excited about reading books, now is a good time to introduce them to a quality book. And I dare say to introduce them to this book, The Old Man Sam and His Cat. Okay. So if you want to get the digital copy again, it's $7.50. If you want to get the physical copies, it's about $15 or $16. We can ship it, of course, with tracking to you. We believe in you knowing where your books are. It will come signed. So I will sign this book for you and make sure that you are able to get it. You can buy it on Amazon and where other books are sold. If you want to get it there, you can, but it will not come signed. And so the benefit of ordering it from my site is it will come signed, and any freebies that I will be giving out concerning the book, you'll be able to get them, access them, and all that good jazz. And of course, when I come out with new books, you'll know. Some of these books are a series. So if you buy a book that's part of a series, you'll get the following book. And ultimately, it will be a great thing that you don't want to miss. Now, before I kind of wrap up this live, I wanted to make mention of another bestseller that I have right now, and it's called Because I'm a Gentleman. Now, if you have a young man in your life, and I'm talking about young children, of course, my son calls himself a man child. So, if you have a man child or a young gentleman, or you have children that you want to become a young gentleman, I encourage you to get this book. If your son is struggling with some of the elements of, growing into becoming a gentleman, this book will help them to discover it and realize it themselves, ideally, and look for ways to bring this to their world, into their lives. So, in this book, I want to read the back of it for you because the back says a whole lot about a book, right? It says if you want to buy it, you're going to get it. I believe the cover does a lot too. So as you can see in this cover is more or less a photo real picture of myself and my son, Aiden. Aiden is the one that actually inspired the book. It's based on a true story. I'm the lady in the back. So this is one of the books that do feature my face. So this one says, Aiden has a special day planned for him and his mother. He plans to invite her to the mother and son dance. For this perfect day, he had to be the perfect gentleman. And so in the book are the things he did for me going to his event that I believe any young boy, young man can learn from and want to bring into their world and share with others. If you want the digital copy, it's $7.49 roughly. If you want to get the physical book and get it signed by me, it's $15.99. It will come shipped to you, of course, with tracking. So you will get that as well. Tracking is additional to the price, but it's worth it because this book is coming signed. Not only will it come signed, I always leave messages in my book. So you'll know books that come from me because the way that I sign books is very unique. So I encourage you to get the real copy and support this young man in his journey. He is 6 years old. So this book is partly written by a 6-year-old, and his name is Aiden. And I want to share it with you on this live. So if you are on, I thank you all so much for jumping on with me now. If you are new to the live, welcome. I am author Kay Lee. I'm the author of 43 books. And this book here is my 42nd book. Yes. The book that I just finished is The Old Man Sam. This is book number 43. This is really good for those that are looking for early readers books as well. When you scan that QR code and go to the website, you will find both of these books on the site. And you're more than welcome to check out other categories. I do publish for more than 12 categories. So I really do have a lot of content. So check it out. I know you'll love it. So getting back to this book. So the name of the book again is Because I'm a Gentleman. And I definitely want to encourage you to grab it. I think I'm going to make a song for this just to kind of like because it's something that comes to mind when I hear it. So I'm definitely looking at doing that. But anyway, this book is dedicated to the sons who are treating women and girls with love and respect. Continue to be the cute, handsome gentleman that you are. This book is inspired by a real event with my son and myself. That's actually him and me at the mother and son dance. So I encourage you, if you have really good stories like this with your children, go ahead, put it in a book, lock it in. Don't wait until, something, big has to happen. It's the little things that make really good books. So if you want to publish your story also, I will also share. Let me do that real quick, just in case there are people out there that want to share their stories and all that good stuff. Here's a great way to segue into writing and publishing your books, and to do it on an affordable way. I help writers and authors alike to write and tell their stories, get them published even. And this is my way of teaching you how to do it, and also show you the process. So if you decide to utilize my company to publish your book, you can get a reduction on service fees. You'll also understand the process, even if you go to another publisher. I believe in having you educated so you can make wise decisions with your money, with your stories, and your content. So if that could be a blessing to you and your family and your life, go ahead and check that out. We do publish for children. So if you have young authors, this is a great way that can bring, publishing into your budget and expose you to how you can do more and more books and keep it on a budget, because books can get expensive when you want to be a repeat author. So I wanted to share that with you real quick, in case you were interested. So here's the book. It says Aiden is excited to return home from school. He enjoys riding the school bus home. He comes running into the house, turns to his mom, and says, "Mom, guess what?" So this is the first page of him on the bus. And then this is him running home essentially to greet his mom and to tell her something. And as you can see, the sentence structure in this book is more heavy than in the previous. Some of the pages on here have at least basically a sentence or two. Some of them may even have a little bit more than that. And so I wanted to make sure that I'm challenging the reader without making it overwhelming. Okay. So then it says, his mom replies, "What, Aiden?" He hands her a flyer from school and says, "I want to invite you to go to a dance with me." And so here is his mom there, me, greeting him when he comes home. And then here is a picture of him giving me a request. Okay, guys, I apologize. I am going to literally leave for 1 minute. I'm going to leave for 1 minute, and I'm going to put this timer up. So give me 1 minute and I will, let me see, hold on 1 second. Let me see how I can fix this. Hold on. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all know sometimes people be calling you, asking you for stuff and all that good stuff. So I'm back. Thank y'all for your patience. So yeah. So I was here. This was me. And then this was him coming home with that flyer, wanting to tell me his good news. Cause y'all know they be so excited when they be coming home with stuff. And you be like, okay. So he hands her a flyer from school and says, "I want to invite you." Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, my bad, y'all. I'm skipping stuff. Okay. His mom says, "Guess what?" Right? That's where we stop. And his mom replies, "What, Aiden?" He hands her a flyer from school and says, "I want to invite you to go to a dance with me." Isn't it cute? Like, this was one of the cutest invitations that I've ever gotten to go to a dance. It's from my 6-year-old son, who invited me to go to a dance this year. And so I was like, "Oh, let's go with you." So y'all know I got to put it in the book. So the book says, his mother replies, "Really?" "Yes, it's a mother and son dance," he says. So that's me saying really. And that's him saying, yes, it's a mother and son dance. You know how this thing goes. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I was younger, I didn't go to any dances because they had to do the father and daughter dance. I grew up with no father. So I never had a father to go to a dance with. So now that I am a mother and I get to go to these dances with my children, it does mean a lot to be able to do it with them. And so I encourage you, if you have the opportunity to go to these types of functions with your children, go to the functions. Try to do it at least a few times. Once at least, but a few times would be great because these are little memories that they love, they like, and take pictures. I encourage you to take pictures. It's in the book too. And the book, I tell y'all to take pictures too. But anyway, I'm skipping ahead of the book. Let me focus. This looks like so much fun, Aiden. I would love to go. The days fly by leading up to the dance. Aiden's excitement grew each day as he waited for Friday. He was real excited, y'all, when his dance was coming. He kept asking every day, okay, mom, okay, mom. And so this is his like bubbly, wild face when I was thinking about, his excitement as it was building up to the day of the dance. And so, mom, don't forget, today is our party and I'm taking you as my plus one. I can't wait to attend, I replied. So this is his excitement. And then this is me. Y'all know we give them thumbs up, like, okay, I'm gonna be ready. I don't know why they think that you gotta get ready when you the person that's gotta drive, but these little people, you can't tell them nothing. So Aiden goes out the door and heads to school. He gets home that day and in a flash, he dresses in his suit and tie. How many of y'all know he was ready to step out there? So this is him heading out to school. And then this is him coming home and turning into the gentleman that he wanted to be. He wanted to be fly for his for that day. So I made sure he was good. He has a suit too, y'all. So if y'all have a chance to give y'all sons a suit, get them a suit. I know it sounds like a ridiculous spend to spend $50 or $60 on a suit that they're probably only going to wear a few times. But I would say do it a few times at least in their life and go to Goodwill if you got to, because man, it makes them feel like a gentleman, not just think of it, but also feel it too. So I love a Bible verse in the Bible. We're in Proverbs, of course. It says, when you smell good, that you feel good. And when you feel good, you know what I'm saying? So it's a whole vibe that we go into. And I would say that's true even in the natural sense. When we smell good, feel good, it builds confidence. So if you are looking at your son and you don't see the confidence you're looking for, try to help encourage them to find their own style, their own feel, their own love for themselves and looking good, smelling good, because it helps them to feel good. And when they feel good, they can start eluding more confidence. And so I want to encourage you to help them in that way if you can. And sometimes it's not about buying a suit. And if you're like, well, man, suits are so expensive, go to Goodwill. Goodwill has so much nice stuff that people don't need no more. Their children grow out of. Go to the ones in the nice neighborhoods if you have to. Find what you need and go ahead and hook them up, and they're going to look great. All you got to buy is a pair of shoes. But anyway, he walks to the door to wait on his mom so he can open the door for her. This is true. His mom leaves out the door and says, "Thank you, son." How many of y'all got sons that won't let you walk out the door unless they open it for you? This is the type of men or man you're like, I want my daughters to marry to. I want them to marry a man that knows how to be a gentleman, that knows how to open a door, to be polite, to be courteous, to invite you to come to a dance with a complete sentence. And so everything that my son is learning to do with me and how he treats me in regard and respects me, I know that he's going to be able to do that for the wife of his choosing in his years to come. And so we are setting the foundation for how these young men are growing up and what they're going to be able to provide or to present for a woman of interest for them. And so this book is more than just a good book with good pictures and colors, although I love it all, but it has a storyline and it has a moral compass that I believe needs to be introduced and instilled in our young boys today, and young men, children, for those that use that word too. Aiden replies, "No problem, mom. Oops, let me get the door for you." "Oh, you don't have to, Aiden." So this is once we actually get to the venue. He wanted to do it all over again. So he walks to the door to wait on his mom so he can open the door for her. His mom leaves out the door and she says, "Thank you, son." So that was the front door of the house. And then Aiden replies, "No problem, mom. Oops, let me get the car door for you." So he literally opened both doors. "Oh, you don't have to, Aiden." Because how many of y'all know your children will literally open your door after you close your door just to close it again? So allow them to do it. Because then they'll actually, what they do now becomes patterns. So we don't want to just create patterns that lead to toxic behavior and stuff that people don't want in a marriage. You also want to give them stuff that they will want to repeat and to give and to instill in them so that they will stand out. They'll look like somebody, that really just got a good upbringing, right? So, yes, I do, he replies, because I am a gentleman. This is what he says. I kid you not. When I go skating and stuff like that, or I take him somewhere and he's like, "Oh, mom, let me get that for you." And I tell him all the time, "You don't have to do that for me, son. I could do it." He's like, "Oh, no, no. I have to do it, mom, because I'm a gentleman." And I just think that's why the name of the book is called Because I'm a Gentleman. He says it at least once or two times a day. And I believe if we can encourage our sons to say this more often, it would become natural for them to assume that they're supposed to be a gentleman because that's what the requirement is. That's what the standard is, right? So it says, he told me, "Yes, I do, mom, because I'm a gentleman." His mother smiles and waits for her door to be opened and shut. The two of them drive to school. The gym is buzzing with sons and their mothers. So this is him saying what he has to do because he's a gentleman. And then this is us arriving to the school and getting ready to have some festivities at this mother son dance. So Aiden says, "Mom, can I get you something to drink?" "Yes, son. Thank you. I was a little thirsty." How many of y'all know when y'all go to these parties, you be thirsty? I don't know why. As soon as you hit the door, you thirsty. And so, yes, he was such a gentleman. He went and grabbed my drink for me. He already offered. He's just so kind. Aiden goes to get her drink, but remembers he needs to help her to her seat. He goes to her seat and pulls out her chair. "I had to get your chair, mom, because I'm a gentleman." She smiles and he goes to grab her drink. How many of y'all know pulling out a lady's chair is still ladylike? It's still gentlemanlike. It's still the way we do to show our courteous, to be courteous to others, to be courteous to those we love and care about, to regard them. And so, yes, he pulled out my chair and everything to help me to sit down. And of course, I thought it was just darling. The two enjoy the snacks that Aiden brought to the table. Then Aiden asks, "Mom, would you like to dance with me?" "Yes, my kind gentleman, I would love to." How many of y'all know y'all want to go dancing? I love going dancing, but I don't go to clubs. So the closest time thing I can get to going dancing is going with my son. So here we are, going dancing and then having some fun. The two of them danced to every song. Some of the dancing looked like Aiden running in circles on the dance floor because it did. I don't know what the child was doing. He was chasing people. It was interesting. It got, I think he got lost, and I just let him have fun. When the party was ending, the balloon decorations were being passed out. The children were bouncing around and hitting the balloons into the air. Aiden's mom jumped in to play along. I did end up playing with balloons at his party. So he was essentially running around playing tag with people, and then they ended up getting bad, the balloons off the decorations because they had like these bubble things. And when they started giving out those balloons, some things are getting hit everywhere. So it was fun. It was a real good fun time. The two of them took a picture together to remember the night. As they left the party and headed to the car, Aiden says, "No, mom, remember, I have to get your door because I'm a gentleman." And so this right here is the picture that we did. We did end up taking a real picture together, which is at the front of the book. And then this is him still being himself, wanting to be the gentleman. She laughed and waited for him to open and close her door again. They headed home. When they got home, her little gentleman was so happy he didn't want to take his suit off. How many of y'all know when y'all wearing something fly, you ain't ready to take it off? When you wear that wedding dress or have that tux on or whatever, and you know you looking good, the last thing you want to do is take it off because for you, it's like ending the moment. And so he wanted to stay in that moment. He kept that suit on for a while, end up laying in his bed, chilling for a minute before I had to end up helping him to get all that stuff off and get in the tub. But anyway, Aiden lies on his bed with his suit on, smiling, thinking about his day. So this is the last page of the book. As you can see, there is an advancement on how many words is on each page. There is a bit of challenge in this book. So if you want to challenge your 6-year old, 5-year old, to read a book that has them considered, if you have a young gentleman that you are looking for a book for them to read on their own or to read with them, this is a really good book that has great pictures, great graphics, great story, and ultimately has a great title and cover. I think the cover speaks for what the quality of the book entails and how it can just really impact and bless people's lives. So if you are on the live, you love this book that I just read, I want you to scan that QR code. I want you to grab this book and share it with a young gentleman. Share it with your son, your grandson, and allow them to honestly get a kick out of this book that looks like them, feels like them, and captures their personality and character. So if you have a young man that loves to smile, loves to have fun, loves to dance, yeah, get this book. And if you're a mom and you haven't been to a mother son dance, I encourage you to go to one. In case the QR code is hard for you to scan or to utilize, it's not in the comments for you. I wanted to put up the comment and share it on the screen. My website is authorklee.com. So go to authorklee.com. Go ahead and order this book. I would love, love, love to get it into your collection. I know right now I've been reading from a lot of children's books. I read from The Old Man Sam and His Cat, which is an early reader's book. I just read the Because I'm a Gentleman book featured by my 6-year-old son. This one's inspired by my 4-year-old son and my grandfather. And I wanted to read you something that's not a children's book. Y'all ready? I pray y'all ready because I got books that ain't got children in them. I know. So this one I'm going to read for you next. Let me hold on. Let me get my life together. I got 43 books, so I got to kind of like I got stacks on this thing. Okay, so let me move this stack, and then let me get to the book I want to share with you. Bam. This book right here. Okay. I don't know. The father got jokes. I'm gonna tell you how the father got jokes. Okay, because I was going to a vending event, to sell books like I do, promote my books, to promote my company. As you may know, I am a ghostwriter and publisher, so I help people to write and publish their stories. I also teach people how to do it, and if they need help, to just understand the business. I created a book that puts my whole program, my business, the way I do things in a book. So when my clients work with me, they get this book for free because I want you to know that you can hold me accountable to what I put in my book, which is the process. If you work with me or someone else, this book is worth getting. And this process also gives you savings for working with my company because I know that you are open to learning the process, learning the business, and you want me to kind of take you through it. So if that's something that you are looking to do, go ahead and scan that QR code. The name of the website is wayprocess.com. In case it is hard for you to scan the QR code, let me put the website up. And again, that is WAE process.com. So WAY stands for Write Anything Easily. So if you are looking to write anything easily, your life story, a children's book, or something like that, WAE Process, WAE process.com. Go there, get it, and I can help you. I would love to work with you and show you how to do it. If you just want to get the book and you don't want, the consultation with me, a consultation with me is $156 anyhow. So for $156, I'm giving you the book for free so you don't have to take any notes. I know having these type of meetings where you got a lot of information thrown at you, you're not going to remember all this stuff. And I don't expect you to, which is why I give the books out for free because I know the value in what I'm presenting and how it's going to help you to go through this journey. Whether you work with me or not, as an author, I wanted something like this for me. And what I would like for me, I tend to do for others. And so this allows me to become, yes, a good businesswoman, but most importantly, I think it allows me to become a person with compassion. So I love what someone told me once, and he was a pastor, W. Michael Turner. And he said, compassion with no action is no compassion at all. So if I say that I care and I don't do nothing about it, then baby, I'm just a puff of smoke. And I don't got time to be a puff of smoke. I want to be someone you take seriously. If you come to me, you're going to get more than what you pay for. I believe in getting what you pay for, but I also believe in doing above and beyond the standards because that is my standard. So if you're looking to write and publish your book and do it with an experienced publisher, editor, ghostwriter, all that good stuff, you can come to me and I would love to help. If you are just looking for someone that can also relate and just better the process, maybe you've already completed, get you on more platforms, show you how to do things better, I can help. And I would love to talk to you about your book. But anywho, let me get to the book that I want to talk to you about right now. The name of this book is called A Kiss from Yah. As y'all know, I'm searching through these QRs because I have 43 books that I got to go through to get to the one I want to show you. So, this is the book I'm about to read to y'all from. I love this book. And I'm going to tell you how many people are loving this book right now, too. So, I did a vending event yesterday. No, not yesterday. Lord, it's Wednesday. I did a vending event on Sunday and Saturday. So, it was a busy weekend for me this weekend. And on Sunday, I was able to do some live poetry. And y'all know I read from my book. It's inspiring me to really, really get this one poem of video. I got to make this video, y'all, because this poem here, no matter where I read it, no matter who reads it, they love it. They love it. They buy the book, and I'm happy, and they're happy. So if you're looking for a great book of poetry that is godly inspired, Yah inspired, should I say, and will raise your spirits, will speak to your soul. This is the book, and I'm going to read to you so you will see just why. All right. So before I read any book, y'all know what I do. I read the back. The back of a book should tell you why you want to get into this thing and what you're going to get out of it. If you read the back of the book and it doesn't deliver, that's why you're going to want to refund. I can tell you this book delivers on what's on the back and what's inside. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay. What is Kiss from Yah? Here we go. So a love letter from Yah is not like any other. How many of y'all know that? When you get a love letter from the Most High, this love letter is like everything. What is similar to a true love letter or collection of poems is that this book is wrapped in love. Unlike the love shared between one person for another or a thing for another, his love is pure, sincere, and perfect. He means what he says. How many of y'all know whatever word he speaks into the atmosphere, it will accomplish what he sends it out to do? That's Isaiah 55 and 11. So if he told you something about your life, this book is going to show you some things. I want you to know it's as good as done. Okay? Done, done, as Melvina says, and I love. So, yes, let's go. His love comes with correction just as much as it comes with affirmation. It is filled with truth and not flattery. He gives warning before destruction and promises to assure you during times of trouble. Be comforted with a kiss from Yah. So this is the book of comfort. If right now you are uncomfortable, things are not the way that you want them to be or to feel, if you just feel like you need something to like, just empower your spirit, encourage you. The Bible talks about encouraging yourself in the Lord. And I want to show you how this book can encourage you in the Lord and encourage you if you just sometimes you need a natural approach. So it actually marries two really well concepts together, and I'm sure you'll love it. One of the things I encourage you to do with this book is to read this book out loud. There are certain books that you get when you get them, you like, yo, I got to read that thing out loud. This is one of them. Okay. So I'm going to read y'all the dedication. So the dedication is this. It says, to my Lord and Savior, Yeshua the Christ, thank you. Thank you for imparting your word, giving me encouragement and dedication to finish this book, to exhort and edify the saints. May this book speak to their hearts, minds, spirits, and renew their souls. To my children, I love you all, and you all will have a place in my heart. My parents, thank you. Family, friends, and readers, all you readers out there that have been supporting me in this book, thank you, and thank you. Um, Sincerely, thank you for allowing me to live out my purpose. Shalom. And of course, the sign, yours truly, Kay Lee. If you want to get this book, scan that QR code. Now, when you scan the QR code, there are two ways you can buy the book. You can buy the physical book, which is $19.99 or $20. If you want to get the digital copy, it's only $10. Okay. For $10, you'll get the colored, EPUB file or ebook that will come to your tablet, phone, computer. You can download it. It'll open up in an ebook reader, and you'll be able to enjoy every one of these poems from your favorite device. So you can take it on the go. You can get the physical book. As y'all can see, that spine is lovely. Okay. This is not a little piece of a book. It's not thin as wallpaper. This right here is a thick book because there's a whole lot that I had to say. And the good part is it's all good, juicy stuff. Some good stuff. It's some real good poems in here, y'all. So just so you know, this book is a celebration of you. Okay, so some of the titles in this book, let me read a few. All right, so we have A Kiss from Yah, which is the name of the book, of course, had to do it. Dear Sister, which is my very first poem. A lot of women that read this book buys this book because of this poem, and it sets the tone. I delivered on that first poem. I'm gonna let y'all know. They is a poem in this book. There was a brother that was part of my live or inside of the poetry event that I did. And he said he had to step out because he said the poem was too real and it was making his mind race and his heart race. And then he came back in and invited me to do a live performance at an upcoming event for him. So I want to encourage you. They is straight fire. It is powerful. So yes, if you are a brother or a sister that wants some fire in your life, that you understand there's a lot going on in this world, in politics and life and society with history and all that good stuff. And I want to show you in this book some really powerful things, and I make it poetic, which makes it beautiful. All right, so we have a poem called Negro, You, Fig Tree. Will you ever be ready? Your savior is here, fresh. Are you out there? The road can be lonely. Through prayer and fasting, our Father, He promised you, He cleansed, work life balance, lazy, peculiar people, the seed of Yehuda or Judah, fruit. Don't trouble their spirit, searching our hearts. Do you believe from royalty to slave? Babel, the fall, Zoe, the great leader, forget what the world says. Love never fails. The cross, examine yourself. To my babies I barely knew, Joel, Beauty for Your Ashes, Long Love. And then, of course, we have about the author, and I leave this book with a prayer. You cannot do a book like this and not include a prayer. Okay, so I'm going to read y'all the introduction, and then I'm just going to pull out a couple of poems, depending on time and y'all interest. Y'all can put it in the comments. If there was a title that you want to hear me read from this book, let me know. If you want to get the book, scan the QR code. You can get the physical book, it's 20, or you can get the digital book, it's $10. Okay. I want to make sure that I put that on here because let me do this. So let me just put that on here. So you can see that. So yeah, so if you want the digital copy, it's $10. If you want the physical book, it's $20. So I just updated that QR code so it does reflect properly. So if you want to get that book, go ahead, scan the QR code, and let's do this. Okay. So it says this. This is the introduction. This is a poem, A Kiss from Yah. Do you know, or have you ever taken the time to see how much you are truly loved? I know perfection is hard. No one can attain it, neither you nor I. We all fall short of the glory of the Most High. But this book was written to encourage you and show you that you do matter. No matter your state or condition, whether you believe or are religious, whether you are searching or convinced, we all need to be near love, to feel what it is and to know it. People need more love today. I dare say we need a kiss from Yah. We need one touch of his affection, closeness, and intimacy, a clean touch that lightens our load and eases our burdens. This essence rejuvenates our hearts and souls. I know that life can be tough, jobs can go, and people can choose to stop their love. You can be dropped by those who were meant to carry you. You can be violated by people sworn to protect you. This kiss from Yah is a reminder that you are loved and worthy of his love no matter where you have been or are going. He can restore, feel, and direct your path. The work he starts, he is able and willing to finish. You are not too hard to mend, and no depths can you go that he cannot reach. He sent the world into hell to deliver his sheep. He will leave 99 to pursue one lost soul, and 99 found can all be held in his hand and in his plan. All of heaven rejoices when one who went astray comes back to his hand, fulfilling the plan he has for humanity. We are all interconnected, a necessity, not a commodity. You are more than what you put into a fund for your social security. You now and you in the future are both valuable and a peculiar people made royalty. Within his kingdom, he has many mansions, or a large mansion with many rooms. He builds according to his vision and creates community. It is written, let us make man in our likeness. Now, how can you for a millisecond believe you are not priceless? The breath in your body that he breathes to make you a living soul. You are of his essence, made on purpose with a purpose. We know in part, but one day we will learn and see in full. Journey with the Almighty, sit at his feet, read the good news he has for you, hear about his love concerning pursuing, and that will overtake you. His goodness is good and feels great. He is better than honey and sweeter than cake. I share with you a kiss from Yah. So this is the introduction to the book. It is the first poem that sets the tone for A Kiss from Yah. In case you're wondering, this is the chapter header for A Kiss from Yah. And this book was inspired. Before you read any of the poems, there is biblical references for where these poems were inspired from. Some of them need the references because of how strong they are. But I want to encourage you. This is going to definitely teach you something. It's going to lift your spirits. It's going to encourage you. And I want to encourage you to grab this book. So in this book, what does it have? First Peter chapter 5, verse 14 inspired the book, or inspired the poem in the book, A Kiss from Yah. Greet one another with a kiss of love. Peace to you all who are in Christ Yeshua, or AKA Christ Jesus. First Thessalonians 5:26 says this: greet all Yah's people with a holy kiss. My inspiration. When thinking of the title, the word kiss came to mind. A kiss from the sun, beating gently upon your face, makes you glow, brings calm, and can slow us down. A kiss from a father can bring assurance, calmness, and encouragement. I wanted to empower the woman, the husband, the children, and the stranger. So this is the reason why I wrote A Kiss from Yah. I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you no matter where you come from. I want to encourage you no matter what you believe or what religion you follow or what practice you do or don't do. This is not about that. Yes, it's rooted in biblical principle as far as it inspired, the reason that I explored these topics. But I want to let you know that the truth, this is a soul book. So if you're looking for something to touch your soul, which is your mind, your will, your emotions, I want to encourage you to grab this book. Okay. And share it with people. So I got to read y'all Dear Sister. Y'all know I do. I love this poem. This is one of my favorite poems in this book. All right. So Dear Sister is on page 11. So if you already scanned that QR code and got the ebook, let's go. I want you to go to page 11 and we're going to do this thing because you got to read this book out loud. And I am going to record this poem. Okay. So this is the chapter header for this poem, A Kiss from Yah. And it reads like this: Dear Sister. It's inspired by Proverbs chapter 31, verses 10 through 20. And I pulled this from the NKJV. It reads like this: who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. Y'all, she got things going on. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night. This woman can work and ain't afraid of it. And provides food for her household and a portion for her manservants. Yo, she got employees, okay? You want to be boss lady, you got to be mindful of other people, mindful of your household, mindful of those that work with you or those you serve with, volunteer with. It ain't got to be necessarily you got to have employees, but maybe you're a manager. Maybe you got people that look up to you and you're a mentor, a big sister, or whatever. All of these things are relevant to becoming a Proverbs 31 woman. Okay, so let's keep going. She considers a field and she buys it. Okay, she is looking for what she wants and she's making plans on how she's going to get it done. From her profits, she plants a vineyard. This woman is an investor. Okay, if you want to become a Proverbs 31 woman, you got to be willing to be an investor. You can't be blowing all your money on purses and bags and things. You got to look at how you're going to preserve your legacy, build a future, invest in your children, support your husband, invest in ministries or whatever else you got going on. You got to be able to invest in these things, pour into these things, but you got to do it out of your abundance. You don't want to do everything out of your lack. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in lack, then you need to be building. You need people to pour into you so you can build up and so that you can be able to move forward. Allow me to encourage you. Right? So she girds herself with strength. You need some powerful women in your life. You need powerful men in your life. You need people that care about you and are concerned about what you got going on, what you want to accomplish. So let's get it. And strengthen her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good. How many of y'all need to know your merchandise is good? Okay. Your time is good. Your wealth is good. Your mind is good. Your body is good. Your conscience is good. Your heart is good. Your intentions are good. You need to know they're good. Your work ethic is good. What you put out is good. What you produce is good. What you cook is good. You need to understand you're valuable and you have value and you do not need to be afraid to make people respect, regard it, and honestly come up to your level, or they may not be in certain aspects of your life. And so you got to stand on it though, right? Some people are going to want to nickel and dime you, even in your business, and you got to let them know, honey, my merchandise is good. Now, if you want to go find something that's $1, Go ahead. I'm pretty sure if you're buying a hamburger for $1, it's probably not real meat because there's no way. Did you see the grocery store? To buy real meat in the grocery store is a price. There ain't no way you're gonna tell me you can make a whole hamburger with bread, tomatoes, lettuce, and all that stuff, and it's $1. If it's $1, I'm wondering what chemical you put in it to make it a bionic burger because I don't. You see what I'm saying? So when you value you, then you realize, oh, I'm not gonna put $1 in me because that ain't gonna be working for me. Okay, even if it is cheap, that's not where I'm at. Okay, if you're not there, hello, how you doing? Welcome to Dear Sister, right? So she perceives that her merchandise is good and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hands to the distaff. This woman is making money in her sleep. She's doing stuff. She's investing in people. People are thinking about her because of stuff that she did out of her heart, out of her goodness, out of her intention. You know what I'm saying? These people have people thinking about her. So even when she's resting, things are still happening. She's still on the heart of God. She's still got the face of Yah that it's like, I love my daughter. This is the daughter of Zion. If that's you, hey now. Okay. She stretches out her hands to the distaff and her hand holds the spindle. This woman is not afraid of work. Some people don't want to work. They want people to give it to them. You ain't afraid of working. And guess what? There's a blessing in that for you. She extends her hands to the poor. She reaches out her hand to the needy. This person is not rejecting people that need her, running away from chances of volunteering or giving or being there for other people. She does that, but she also gives to herself too, because you got to take care of you too, boo. You matter. Remember, you good. You good. A good thing takes time, takes money, takes resources. Okay. So now I want to give you the poem now that you know the foundation for which this was created. Okay. So the name of this poem is called Dear Sister. Again, if you like the book, do me a favor, scan that QR code, go ahead and grab it. Get this book. The digital copy is $10. Physical copies are $20. They do come signed. If you cannot read the QR code, I understand. Here is my website. It's authorklee.com. You can order it from there. I will definitely put it in the mail, typically in 1 to 2 business days. You can also shop it on my TikTok shop and a couple other places. It's on Amazon and wherever books are sold. But of course, on Amazon and all those other stores, they will not come signed. And they're a little bit more pricier, I think. So there's that too. All right, but let's get to this poem because I know y'all ready. Y'all probably beyond ready. I'm ready too. All right, we on the same page. So here we go. All right. It has become overwhelmingly popular to dismiss Yah. Is it your hair that grows out in attempt to touch the sun? Is it your coils that make too many spoil the plans Yah has for you? If you have sailed the Atlantic or walked this planet, this poem is for you. You are beautifully adorned, and the melanin in your skin is more worthy than gold. Too many don't know your story. You birthed every nation and tongue, but in those places you are shunned. You gave your life not once, not twice, but every time you delivered, you shared. You gave artists, linguists, teachers, preachers, prophets, daughters, and sons. You inspire the world to learn what can happen when birth has begun. A woman humbled who will sacrifice her life so the majority of those she loves can grow from seedlings to trees, who learns that seeking knowledge is never more profound than dreams. Our world will touch you, marginalize you, and try to keep you tame, feeling ashamed, so you despise what can free you. Don't you know you are more electric than phantom power, more powerful than a nuclear shower? You are the test that pushes boundaries, honey. You are a tree that can bend to the earth and not break. Your beauty is more beautiful than eyeshadow, diamond rocks, metals that glow. Your toes have the ability to stabilize the body as it grows. Honey, mm-mm. Don't despise the little things that make you you. Don't be afraid to uncover all that was buried in an ocean blue, a sandy beach, a jungle, concrete or desert streets, east to west, north to south. Your essence is everywhere, honey, but yet you are unaware. It is not certificates, stamps, rings, weaves, or things that make you valuable. It is the intrinsic things that should make your heart sing and push you to be queen. A queen without being a bee is the destiny of those who are beloved. To rule with love, with his presence, to remind the world quickly forgotten of his forever promise to start with you, to teach and love you, not so that you can be puffed up. No one's head should swell to where the only person they can see or hear is you. You don't have to pretend, dress up, paint it on, glue it on, or cut it up because you already have the right stuff. Your beauty is not defined nor limited to a fallen worldview. Take your head higher. Don't expire the plans Yah has for you. sister. So many want to diss ya, but you are to impart into others so that they don't miss ya. My sister, born here, there, everywhere, anywhere. I see you and want to share. If you haven't heard it or only flirted with the topic, baby, I love you. Not because you're perfect or every day you feel worth it, but that's what makes life true. We are given the grace to forgive and receive what words could not do. We need mercy and to remember a sacrifice not long ago sold, whose blood runs, covering me and you, whose life saves those who sail the ocean blue, who will never leave nor forsake you, but is here, there, everywhere, anywhere, warring and caring for you. I want to encourage you, dear sister, if you have felt basically unseen, unheard, unvaluable, not worth it, not worthy, not work, stuff ain't working. I want to encourage you that your story matters. Whether you came to this country on from the Atlantic, whether your ancestors were slaves, whether you had to come out, whether you had to go through struggle, whether you were abandoned, you were left for dead, you were left to fail. People spoke negative about your life, your dreams, your purpose, your things. I want to encourage you that there is greater works that is still being birthed on the inside of you, and you are valuable no matter what's going on, no matter what's in your past, what can be in your future is what you allow your world to create. And I want to create something powerful, wonderful, magnificent in you. I want to encourage you. I believe that this poem will do it. I believe that your story is enough. I believe that you're enough to be able to walk into a new phase of your life. And if that is something you want to do, I believe that this poetic version of encouragement is made for you. And this poem is just a piece of the iceberg of what I want to share with you and a kiss from Yah. So if you're liking what you're hearing, this is where you can get it. You can get it utilizing that QR code you see up there right now. You can go to authorklee.com. You can order the digital copy for $10. The digital copies are only on my website. Okay. So you have to go there. If you want to get the physical book, you can get it wherever books are sold. But when you buy it from me, it will come signed. It will come with tracking. And I will also give you some of the freebies that are coming out with this book, including the video and audio version of me delivering Dear Sister, which will be coming out soon. So go ahead and order it. So when I send it out, you'll already have it. You'll get it first. Okay. So if you're liking it, loving it, share it, go ahead and grab it. So I want to give y'all another poem. Now I want y'all to put this in the comments. Okay. How many of you out there would like to hear a poem called They? All right. Now, you may not know about what this poem is about, but this poem right here was so powerful that a grown man had to walk out of my theater because he said it was hitting too hard and it was making him think too much. And then he invited me to do a presentation at his event coming up in a few months. So I want to encourage you, if you are ready to hear something that speaks to this political climate, that speaks to who you are, where you're going, if you've heard this is the end of 400 years of slavery and people ain't got nothing else to tell you, but it's the end, but you still see a whole lot of more that looks like nothing's changing, the world is a lot the same, I want to tell you that this poem right here will speak to your soul and spirit. And yeah, it's a wild ride. So here's the chapter header in case you're curious. The name of this poem is called They. All right. So yeah, if y'all want to hear that, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Send me some love. Let me know you feeling it. And I will definitely, matter of fact, y'all know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read it anyway. But this right here, I'm telling y'all are gonna either love this poem or think I'm wild and crazy. But I gotta tell y'all where it comes from, because you know what I'm saying? When you say some stuff like this, you gotta let people know it's not my, I gotta let you know. Okay, I'm not even gonna say too much because I'm just gonna go ahead and hit you with the hits. Let's go. All right. So this is inspired by 1 John chapter 3, verse 13. Okay. So don't be surprised, dear brothers and sisters, if the world hates you. Oop. Yes, this one is dealing with hate. If you feel hated right now, if you feel some kind of way because of what Trump's doing, if you feel some kind of way because of what the world's doing, okay, it's not just one person that's causing catastrophe in the world. Nobody's God, okay, and nobody is a manifestation of Satan as of yet. The Antichrist, there's the spirit of Antichrist in the world, but the Antichrist is not here yet. So that means we all got people that is getting on our nerves, driving us crazy, and the question is, what we gonna do about it? Let's read. I got something to say. Y'all got something to say? Put it in the comments. I want to hear. I want to share. I want to dialogue with you. The next part that inspired this poem right here is called John chapter 15, verses 18 through 21. It reads like this. Yeshua said, don't be surprised if the world hates you because they hated me first. The world will love you as one of its own if if you belong to it, but you are no longer part of the world. I chose you to come out of the world, so it hates you. Do you remember what I told you? A slave is not greater than the master. Since they persecuted me, naturally they will persecute you. And if they had listened to me, they would listen to you. Some of you right now feel like the world is not listening to you. Some of y'all feel like we voted for politicians and ain't nobody hearing us, ain't nobody feeling us. Some of you say, man, we've been telling y'all a long time that lynching is wrong. We've been telling y'all a long time that racism is wrong, but ain't nobody listening. Ain't nobody feeling you and what you got to do. I want to tell you what the Father told the Hebrews to do. He says, if only my people will turn to me, right? Repent for their ways, acknowledge me, acknowledge my ways, acknowledge my truth, which is higher. Allow me to come in and show my power, because what he got in store for us is powerful. What we may want people to do, they ain't gonna do. We may want people to confess their acts of war and stuff like that to the world. They ain't gonna do that. But guess what? We got somebody who is an advocate, and this one won't be denied. That there's the key. He won't be denied. The Father is so boss. He will put his plans in the word. So he will tell you centuries in advance, because there is nothing you can do to carve out or to change or to manipulate or to delete the plans he has for humanity. It's not going to change. We can do it. We can fly to the moon and he'll still be there to bring out what he said was going to happen. Whether you're in the moon, whether you're in another country, if you're sitting on the beach, if you're sitting in a jail cell, he can come and he can bring forth what thus says the Lord. So there ain't no place he won't visit if he's got something for you. And I dare say this poem is for you if you're still on this live. So thank you. If you like it, scan the QR code, do grab it, support the book, support this movement. I really love you. I appreciate you. And with that being said, let's go. This is the poem called They. Now, this poem is lengthy. This is one of the long ones. So if you're liking it and all that good stuff, if you are on LinkedIn, I won't see your comments, but if we're live, but I'll check them on the end. But if you are on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, I want you to put it in the comments. I want you to share your thoughts. I want you to do likes or whatever you got to do. Share this, because this is about to be fire. I may not read the whole poem because of the sake of time, but I definitely will read enough of it to see where y'all are feeling. And then I'll move on to another poem because there's a couple that I want to share. So again, this is They. They say they came to save us, to deliver us from ourselves. They wanted to tell us their story and reassure their glory. They push their thoughts and their version of life. They say our life was humbled and we ran around naked. They say we were illiterate with no language, lacking character, order, and righteousness. They told us our story through their lens, and on them we still depend. They think their education is their own and their music their song. They believe the science they received was theirs or should not have been without their existence. They say you should be happy God made your life this way. They claim medicine as their jewel and crown. They bought bullets to shoot your people down. They think you are dumb and without a history rich in your bones. They call you foolish to still fight after over 400, 500, 1,000 years of slavery. They plan to divide and conquer. They come together only to take. They think bickering among themselves how to divide the steak. They act like wolves, but they present themselves as angels, lambs adorned in white. They believe their future is bright. They leave a trail of blood and a trail of tears, shame, dishonor, and run from blame. They had arguably no love for you. They fought over you like children bickering over toys. They don't see you because they dismissed you. They sold your children, raped your mothers, killed your fathers, and retained your daughters and sons. They sacrificed you for your minerals and used your land for their war. They killed your water supply, then they make you borrow what's yours with interest. They devalue your property and claim eminent domain. They don't tell you about an allodial trust, so nothing you own is truly yours, but is voluntary support. They rebuild and send the tax bill to your children and redline your cage. They pour illicit drugs into your ghettos, building purposefully neglected and jacked up 3 times. They mill your children like cattle. They profit off your life, death, culture, riches, and sickness. They arrest you for outsmarting them. They kill you or plan your public annihilation as they watch you hang from a tree or shoot you dead in the street. They set your life on fire and offer your girls, boys, drugs, drinks to take you higher. They promise you riches to dance and sing, pimping your children to kiss their rings. They don't care how well you sing. They can look past the hell you bring. They kick dirt and defame your kings, telling you they didn't mean a thing. They give you a holiday and still make you work. They use you to create statues of your greatest appearing unclothed. They don't want you to see their nakedness. They pass laws to hide their sins. They don't see their system are not the ultimate judge. They forget. They lived in streets covered in filth. They died in droves because of their ignorance. They ate from soil deficient of nutrients. They hid in caves to escape the sun. They were the closest to heaven on the Tower of Babel. They were cursed to roam like monkeys and apes. They were to resemble elephants as part of the curse. They claim to be superhuman, and above all, they are empty, broke, and whitewashed walls. This is scripture, not me. They, without you, they pursued class, would be debased to look at character and their true. They see nothing different between them and they. They fight, but they both worship the beast. They worship the Lord over mammon and poverty. They celebrate the God over machinery and weaponry. They chase a consciousness that isn't there. You can't appeal to their humanity. They believe you are the problem they must solve. But are you the pestilence, the black bug, or they? They ruin neighborhoods and tear up villages. They destroy homes and rewrite history, creating new maps. They plot and plan with a united attack. They will kill by any means because they are afraid. Like Pharaoh, you will side with their enemies, fight against them, and leave. They will lie and defame, strip you of your clothes, and keep changing your name. They are not loyal when you are broke. They steal your wealth and long to see you hurt. They frame the world you've seen, and they want others to believe. They choke out your dreams and get you to abort your seed. They lie to get votes and replace your presidents. They assassinate under peace, give you religion, and steal your deeds. They use the police, lawyer, and judge to keep you under their feet. They steal the minds of those who love you to turn them against you. They need you and bank on you needing them. They keep you poor by using what is yours. They buried your treasures and are fearful to die without them. They say they were not wrong and have nothing thought and have no thoughts towards you. They underestimate the one fighting them for you. They are amazed you survived the Great Inquisition, being spread sea to sea, raped, pillaged, and scattered throughout the world. They love your skin but pretend it is a curse. They know your DNA runs deep in the earth. They are caterpillars, cankerworms, warring with the great white throne. They must know they are not above, and too will be brought low in time. They will be humble, same as Eve, Adam, and everyone. They cannot escape judgment even by fleeing to the moon. They will be pursued there and everywhere. They will die and then hope to die in camp. They will see their evil deeds take root and grow from seeds. They ought to know they will go out in flames. They need to repent. They need to renew their minds and allow their imaginary walls to fall. They may see, agree, but turn their cheek, a blind eye. They may think to deceive with a fake apology because they think he, the Almighty, is dumb, mute, and doesn't speak. But they must know they will be judged now and into the future. They have sleepless nights, nightmares, evil pairs, and no peace is theirs. They use the potions meant to harm to keep their inner demons from being alarmed. They listen to you with a glimmer of hope, but they are robbed of the word provided to deliver. They lean on their own understanding and are confounded. They are perplexed at how you live with little, but they can't cope with much. They have life, but the quality sucks. They ride on humans like surfboards to hell. They dance below the cliff of the rock pipe, piping Yah's children to follow. They have no friends, but willing participants who will meet a gloomy and eternal end. So that book, or that poem, not the book, that's the poem entitled They. So, yes, so They is a wild ride. It is one of those wild rides that the Father gave me. And I was like, wow, Father, okay, alrighty then. That's the poem. So if you like that poem, definitely put it in the comments. I would love to hear y'all comments, hear y'all thoughts. If you love the poem, definitely hit the QR code. If you cannot see the QR code, I want to throw up the website, authorkaylee.com. Go ahead and grab the book. If you want to get a signed copy, you can order it from my website. If you don't care if it's signed, you can order it from Amazon, wherever books are sold. And of course, you can get the digital copy only from me. So that's the EPUB or the ebook. So if you want to get a digital copy, go to the website. It's only $10 to get the ebook. Okay. So you can do that. Another poem that I wrote is called Negro. Okay. I know there's a whole lot of, stuff. There's Negro land. There's the word Negro we used to be called many years ago. And now, of course, that word has kind of been transitioned out of our vocabulary and society. We don't really hear the word Negro anymore unless we're talking about like a Negro council or the NAACP or something like that. That's the only time we see the word Negro. But I want to show you there's power in Negro. Okay. So this book right here, or this, I keep saying this book, y'all know this poem right here is called Negro. It's on page 23 in A Kiss from Yah, if you're wondering where I'm at. It was inspired by Deuteronomy 28, verses 1 through 3. Those verses read like this. And if you faithfully obey the voice of the Lord your God, being careful to do all his commandments that I command you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. See, there's a promise when you do what the Father say. You'll be set on high, and all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you. How many of us want the blessings? Hey, now, Deuteronomy 28, go read it. If you obey the voice of the Lord your Yah, blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the field. Wonderful, right? I like that too. But here's something that is also in Deuteronomy 28 that we also got to include. This is coming from verses 15, 20, and 25. It says this. But if you will not obey the voice of the Lord your Yah, your God, the Lord will send on you curses, confusion, and frustration on all that you undertake to do, until you are destroyed and perish quickly on account of the evil of your deeds, because you have forsaken me, and you shall be a horror to all the kingdoms of the earth. Some people say, why do Black people struggle so much? Deuteronomy 28. The same reason why you are incredibly gifted and talented and athletic and all of these wonderful and powerful gifts is because the good Lord above gave them to you, is the same reason why he is upset that you're not using them for him. It's the same reason he's upset that you basically take his stuff and give it away to everybody but him. He calls that a whoring after other gods. Yeah. All right. Let's get to the poem though. Because, I don't. Let's go. Y'all ready? I hope y'all ready. If y'all like it and y'all feeling it, thank y'all for being on the live. I appreciate you. Definitely share the live. Definitely let other people know about my page. I appreciate you. I will share as much as I can when I can to keep y'all on some good quality content. Y'all know how I do. Arthur K. Lee. All right. So they called you Negro and you thought it was to throw shade. The umbrella of truth was removed to leave you less understood. You are people who have been sabotaged by your own, the house or the field, the lighter versus the brown versus the black. We have replaced our homeland with black. We don't know about the map. When you see yourself in the mirror of you on the West Coast, the East, the North, and the South, you falsely believe the edited map, the map that divides a people and keeps them displaced. For you to find your lost tribe would correct the blurred lines, to know your people spread all over the globe. We are people told we don't belong, even in the land by which we were sold. We are the byword promised in the word. We are the people attempted to be erased from every map with no trace back. The biggest cover up is not Watergate, sex tapes, or leaked documents. It is your defined cage and what was stolen, robbed, and taken from you. Don't be like Esau, deceived to believe your birthright means nothing. Don't forget the city and great wonder displaced and ruined that was run into the ground about you. The ones that hurt you, he will pursue them. The ones who carried you away in ships, who did their job to follow the script, they lived up to the atrocity not spoken and will reap the punishment. It's written. His face was hidden from you, but now after the time of the Gentiles, he started to bring you his jewels back in full view. He will save you, not because of you. He will be indebted to no one, and every word he speaks will come to pass. He is jealous over you, and he comes for you. He's heard your cries and sees the judgment fulfilled. Yes, you are a mess, scattered in every land. But he promised, I will remove your shame, beauty for ashes. I give my precious jewels. I will bring your enemies to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and there make ransom and demand recompense concerning you. Grace and mercy are his will abound. You are not without a home. A home is where the heart is, and there you have always been. Yah has promised to bless you in the land of your captivity. He promised to bring you home restored, open gates and extended borders. He will enlarge you. Let us do what we know. Turn to Yah, his commands, and no longer be separated. Together we are the diaspora. The world is waiting for the union of Israel and Judah, calling the Negroes. So that's the name of the poem, Negro. And yeah, that's what's in store for you in that poem. And by the way, there are 30 poems in this book, and we have only scratched the surface. I've only read 3 poems and the introduction, which is actually a poem the way it reads. So that makes 4. But this book is full of powerful, powerful poems. It's over 30 poems, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely, definitely, I encourage you. As you can see, there are poems in here about Hebrews, about Negroes, about us, about community, about life, about how to be a great leader. I'm going to skip around a little bit because I think we need to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to read this one from page 143. Okay. This one is called The Great Leader. And this was inspired by John chapter 14, verse 12 through 15. And it reads like this: Most assuredly, I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will also do. And greater works than these he will do, because I go to my Father. And whatever you ask in my name, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. 14 says, If you ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, keep my commandments. 1 Corinthians 11:1 says, Be imitators of me as I am of Christ. So we are to follow the script of a great and worth it leader. Okay. So this one is called The Great Leader. It is the example that was set. It is his heart's desire that we may learn his ways. His ways are above ours, his thoughts higher. He knows the beginning from the end, and his existence knows no limits. He is and was and will always be. He is our teacher. If any man lacks wisdom, may you ask of it. He is all knowing. He's not a coward. He defends his sheep and ensures his sheep knows his voice. The loneliness Yeshua felt on the cross and the moments leading up to him releasing his spirit. We're the darkest, loneliest, and hardest times in history of all time. He says for us to believe, for us to be disciples, and for us to be like him, doing the works and demonstrating his miracles in the earth. Signs, miracles, and wonders will follow us, the children of Yah, all the days of our lives. It is his character and action that are the standard for our being, believing, and seeing. He says the greatest among us is not determined by money and might. To be the greatest you serve, to be a good right hand, you must exhibit the character of the leader. The student is never greater than his teacher, or the pupil greater than the master, this master. The word was written so that we may have basic instructions before leaving earth, Bible. Your daily life is training. The good news, he will never leave nor forsake you. And the great work he began in you, he will finish. The great leader leads by example. True, his vision and process for you. His son goes to add on rooms in a large mansion to include you. He fulfills his promises and accomplishes what he sets out to do. If he were not making room, he said he would tell you. He lead he leads his children out before, after 200 plus years. He said he would do it again, and he did it after 2 more times. He is not a man, nor does he lie. He will lead you by a cloud of fire by day and a cloud of fire at night. He will rain manna to ensure you are encouraged, fed, and assured. The great leader will not lead you astray, but ask for your hand and let you choose your way. And that is called The Great Leader. Let me see. Let me see one that is, there is one too that talks about love never fails. Let me see. Wait, let me see. There's one in here that I want to definitely share. Hold on a second. It's a little unique because let me see. It's not that one. So it's one that I wrote, and it's more like a dialogue. So it's definitely a prose, not a poem, technically. It's lyrical, of course. When you read it, it's gonna be lyrical because that's all I know how to do. But let me see, what is this? This is the fall. Of course, that is a capturing the poem of the fall of Adam and Eve, and essentially how we are unfortunately fallen in some ways still today. Let's see, what is this? This is From Royalty to Slave. This is the poem I'm looking at now, but I don't want to read that one because I read one. There's one that I'm looking for, and I'm like, Lord, I don't remember the name of it, but I remember what's in it. And it was really, 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 really fun. Let's see if I can find it. No, not, oh, The Seed of Judah or Yehuda is really good too. I don't know if y'all read the Apocrypha books, but it was inspired by the Apocrypha book. Uh, Okay, Not Peculiar People. I'm almost there, y'all. So I'm trying to find this specific poem where it reads like almost like a movie. It's kind of fun. It's like a skit that I did. So it's really a skit. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Okay. It's called He Cleanse. All right. Okay. So this is what it is. He cleans. All right. So he cleansed. All right. So this was inspired by Acts chapter 10, verse 13 through 15. And it reads like this. Okay. I'm going to throw the QR code up just in case y'all need that. All right. So it says, and there came a voice to him, rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, by no means, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice came to him again a second time. What Yah or God has made clean, do not call common. Psalms 51:7 says, purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Isaiah 1:18 says this, come now, let us reason together, says the Lord. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. This is a redemption poem. Okay. Some of us, we know we got messy passes. We got stuff that's back there that we like, Lord, I don't know if you can save me. I don't know. We have gotten into things. We have done things that we regret. We have told ourselves why we don't deserve salvation or we don't reserve forgiveness or deserve it from either Yah, God, or other people. And now we're like, Lord, I don't know what to do. We're heartbroken. We're lonely. We're frustrated. We're sad. We feel defeated, deflated, but yet we don't know how to get out of it. So we're in this sunken, depressive state and we don't know how to get out. And so I wrote this poem here to encourage you, to lift you up, to lift you higher, and to inspire people that may find themselves in a place like this to know that you're not too far. The name of the poem is called He Cleansed. Okay. It smells on my skin. It's icky. I can barely look in the mirror. I don't know how I got so far. I was pretty nice. I had good thoughts towards people. I wanted to be loved, seen as beautiful, regarded and remembered, but I was the pretender. I thought he loved me. I thought the cheers were real. I got the likes online. My picture was coveted. Sure, my body was exploited. My name was known. My reputation was ruined. I couldn't beat them, so it made sense to join. I couldn't shake the image. One mistake cost me my life. Now I wake and sleep in darkness. My thoughts are dark. My heart is dark. My vision is blurred. My dreams are fading. Is it the lights that blind? How did my focus shift? How did I end up like this? Why am I stuck and can't move? Why does the room spin? Singing, entertainment made me happy. Now it brings gloom. I have so many regrets. How can I ever get back? I feel used with many to blame, yet I can find no fault. I can only find fault in my name. I can't see past my mistakes. I don't know how to see past this. I don't know how that I can do this. How can I make it? Yah says to the woman, have you forgotten who you are? I am the God who has redeemed murderers and prostitutes, accountants and strippers, mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers. I am the one who has shown you your mirror. I am the one who is pursuing you and wants you back. She says, but I am nothing. I have nothing. Yah says, but you, but in your weakness, I am made strong. She says, I ruined my life, left my children, abandoned my spouse. I left for a girl. How can I revert? Yah says, if you accept my yoke, which is easy, and my burden that is light, I will turn your past to work in your favor. I will give you beauty for ashes. I will bring you from your reprobate state. She says, but I don't deserve this. A second chance? I denied your hand, turned my back on you, kissed the ring, and blended into the finer things. I was committed to pursuing what I wanted, not what you demanded. I was more focused on pleasing me than having a mind to serve the Almighty. He says, yeah, as you have said is true. You are not worthy, but I do love you and have sent my word to be born on earth and vessel to redeem you. The words you don't have to beg for your forgiveness, the power you lack to be disciplined, I give you. I am empowered. I can empower you then, and I am empowering you here now to hold your hand. Love is a gift, it's not a reward. She says, I still don't see it. I am dirty, filthy, and the least. Yah says, Paul was the least, and I made him the greatest. I can use your story to help many and write your testament to bless plenty. Don't you see what I see? I can lift you up and get the glory if you reduce and are willing to change your story. I am here because you need a God, someone greater. Aren't I worthy? I'm not begging, but my word pleads with you. Heed my word while I am here. I won't always be near. I give you the time and chance. Will you come to me? She says, if I come, what will become of me? I am okay with being the least, reduced to the importance of a mouse, to scurry around the saints to show my thanks. He says, whom I have made clean are clean indeed. For anyone who would challenge, I will speak up concerning you. For those who threaten you lack protection, I will bring you food and provisions. I will change your story for my glory. You are my vessel. All are my vessels, but now you are my vessel of honor and not dishonor or common use. Allow me to make you more than an example. Allow me to claim you as my daughter. I love you, daughter. She says, forgive me for drifting so far. Forgive me for being apart. Forgive me for those I hurt. Forgive me for lifting my skirt. Forgive me for indecent ways and for casting away your rebuke, for following me to shake my family, for destroying what you gave me, for mismanaging my gifts. Forgive me for many sins. Change my life. Show me the way because, Father, I need you. Yah says, I am, I am, I am. Everything you need to bridge the gap from where you are to where you want to be. Whatever you need, whatever you lack, I can fulfill. Trust me and take my hand as I lead you through troubled waters. When you look to the right, I am. When you ask for forgiveness for those you have harmed, I am. When you go to make amends, I am. When you have to work, I am. The one that is pleased. Forget about everything that others will say. Stay focused on me and allow me to lead you. Yah replays. With every challenge, I am. Draw your strength from me, taste me, and know that I am. Rewriting your story from my glory, covering all your shame, perfecting your name. For those who have made decisions that brought shame, for those that feel downtrodden, lost, unworthy, not worth it. Things are not working. You want to repent, don't know how. You don't know what repentance even looks like. You feel like you're too far gone. Hell is already your home. You already feel like you're there. If you are there, I want to remind you that there is the creator of the universe that loves you, that cares about you, that is concerned about you, that wants you. Even if you feel like you're nothing, the Bible says even our greatest works are like filthy rags compared to what he can do. And what he can do is he can wash you, cleanse you, make you whole, restore you, rewrite your story, cleanse your life, fix your mistakes. No, he doesn't go to your past and eliminate them. He makes them work for your good and for the good of those called according to his purpose and that love him. And so if you want to love him, if you need help, if you need to know that you're valuable, I want to remind you that there is nothing you could have done that he cannot redeem, restore, set you free, put you on the right page. And I just want to encourage you today that you can be loved, that you can start over, that you can get what you need out of life. And so if that needs to be said to you, I wanted to make sure you got it, you heard it, it hit your heart because it's true. Okay. So, yes, I wanted to just let you know that you're loved and that you matter. And that is one of my favorite poems. It's called, or prose, really. It's called He Cleansed. And it's more of like a skit. So I just encourage you to check that out. I know, y'all, it's a whole lot more in this book. Oh, my goodness. But I know the time is ticking, ticking, ticking. So I'm going to try to read maybe some short ones because y'all know I like talking to y'all and I pray y'all like listening to me. But um let me read one that is a little, one I really like is called Lazy. Okay, so let me find the poem Lazy. There's another one called Fruit that I really like too, but I'm gonna read Lazy for y'all. So this is the chapter header for Lazy. Lazy. Oh, and by the way, y'all, I have a couple of these books in stock. So if you want to get one, a signed copy from me, go ahead and use that QR code, scan it. It's in the comments. If you do need to see the title of my website is authorklee.com. If you want to order it, go there. Please, please, please support the book. I do appreciate it. I do want to do more with this book, more with poetry and prose. I want to come out with another book of poetry. So if y'all love and y'all feeling this one, I got some good news. I'm going to be working on another one because y'all know I'm on the road. I put out books based on what people need and where my readers are at. So if you want one of my readers, you feeling the book, you loving the content, go ahead and support the book. Put it in the comments, send me DMs, let me know how you feel. I would love to hear back from you. You can also go to my website, authorkaylee.com, and click on review and give a book review. And I would love to hear your feedback. If you're hearing and listening, and from this, you want to share your thoughts, feel free to go to my website, share the thoughts. You don't have to buy a book to give a review. And so I would love to hear from you. All right. So here's the poem called Lazy. And this is probably going to be my last poem on this live for this evening. So it reads like this. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 10. It came from the Amplify. It says, for even while we were with you, we used to give you this order. If anyone is not willing to work, then he is not to eat either. Okay. So working, eating go together. All right. Proverbs 16:27-29. And idle hands are the devil's workshop. Hey now. Idle lips are his mouthpiece. An evil man sows strife. Gossip separates the best of friends. Wickedness loves company and leads others into sin. Ain't that poetry? I love it. Anywho, Matthew 25:26 says this, but his Lord answered and said to him, you wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. Some of y'all are saying, Lord, I'm not doing nothing because I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I this, I that, I this. And I'm going to tell you, if you are not using the gifts the good Lord gave you, then you might be in danger of being called lazy. Okay. You do not want to be a lazy servant, because lazy servant, AKA wicked servant, is not a good thing. It's not a good place. Okay. So I want to encourage you, don't be a lazy servant. But if you are discouraged, sometimes we may look like we're lazy, but we're really discouraged. We're really bothered. And so I want to encourage you today on how you can come up out of laziness, how you can come up out of being discouraged, essentially with the poem of love. Okay. Name of the poem is called Lazy. Why should I work hard when I can be lazy? Why should I better myself when being my raggedy self is good enough? Why should I exercise when there are vitamins? Why should I eat right when I can get surgery? Why do I have to learn a skill when there is AI? Why should I be diligent when so many are sleeping? Why should I protect my oil when others are not? Why is it necessary to chase Yah when I can pray last minute? Why should I honor my parents when they don't or didn't do the same? Why do I have requirements when others seem to not? Why is it fair that many suffer while a few live well? Why is it so important that I be working when the world profits from being lazy? Why should I work? Why should I work sun up to sundown, all to make a dollar that doesn't last? Why should I pay to go to college only to have a job that robs me of my time from my family? Why should I move about or think more than I do? Why can't I be lazy? I'm not lazy because I don't want to work. I'm lazy because I'm overwhelmed. I'm lazy because I can't see. I'm lazy because I struggle to believe. I'm lazy because I'm overworked. I'm lazy because I don't know which way to start. I'm lazy because care, those who should care don't. I'm lazy because one step forward is 5 steps back. How many of y'all are discouraged? Okay. I'm lazy because my coming and going seem to mean nothing. I'm lazy because my heart is heavy. I'm lazy because watching the TV doing nothing is better than doing something and failing. I'm lazy because life just hasn't gone the way I planned. I'm lazy because I'm tired. I'm lazy because I don't want to lose anymore. In your strength and for your glory, it is easy to get overwhelmed. It is human to think you will make it on someone else's prayers you won't. It is human to think you can live like everyone else. You can't. It is human to mistake me for a mortal man when I have infinite wisdom. It is human to believe you can live how you want and have to, and Yah, it says, and I have to accept it, but I'm talking about Yah. Okay. It is human to decide to be selfish, serve you, and believe your feelings trump everyone else's. It is human to lock yourself away from your job and marriage and into a fantasy. But I assure you, the lazy will not inherit the kingdom of Yah. Heaven here on earth or the new heaven are for those willing to work. At the fall of man, working by the sweat of your brow was spoken. There are no shortcuts, easy ways out, but only mine. Oh, hold on, y'all. These pages are a little tight. Okay, there you go. But only mine. The lazy are wicked, and there is no rest for the wicked. In your laziness, you will not find peace nor rest. You will be drained, constantly consuming and never full. But I offer you a life of fulfillment that trumps a lazy way of living. I can make every day new and refresh you from a living well. There is nothing I cannot turn to your good, no wrong that I cannot make right, no hurt, pain I cannot heal. Be a living vessel of change, work for me, and I will make every day count. Today, work and be fishers of men. I want to encourage you for those out there who are lazy because they are not seeing the benefit or the purpose of their actions. The Nothing is coming out of the great works that they are doing, so they feel distracted. You are lazy because you are discouraged, because you are depressed, because you don't see value, because you feel like it's a waste of time. I want to encourage you. The reason why you feel that way is because the heart of why you're doing what you're doing is not rooting in something bigger than what you're doing. See, when you see the bigger picture, it allows you to move when you want to stop. When those that were brought into slavery, I'm sure a lot of them wanted to die. They didn't want to have to go through what they had to go through, but they had to look ahead of where they were, right? To say, you know what, I'm gonna keep going. I'm sure the people that were marching at one point, they didn't want to be out there getting sprayed with water hose and bit by dogs and all this crazy stuff, but they knew what was ahead of them. A lot of these people that made great things happen in their communities were flooded, like in Georgia and many other places, Tulsa, the stuff that happened there to a community that was building and believing in community. It mattered, but when it is erased or it is attempted to be erased, it may feel like it was for nothing, but it's not, because the Wall Street we know about came because of them, but we don't know that story because we have to not be lazy about seeking out truth. And see, when we are living the truth, when we are spreading the truth, when we are working when people are sleeping, when we are doing the great work, it matters. For those that are serving in ministry, don't give up, don't stop. You matter. You matter to the Father if you don't matter to nobody else. Your children will benefit from the works you do now. We are standing on the shoulders of our ancestors. The work that people were willing to do during the times of slavery is also how we are here where we are right now. If it were not for the road that they had to travel, we would not have the victories that we can talk about. But the same thing is true. If we don't do what we're supposed to do while we're supposed to do it, our future will look at us and blame us for what we did not do. So I want to encourage you today not to be lazy in pursuing your purpose, not to be lazy in preserving your legacy, not to be lazy and doing the good work that matters, that will essentially push you into the right places and right spaces in life. I want to remind you today, if you did not catch it at the top of the live, preserve your legacy. I came up with this concept, preserve your legacy, because it's important. Because it's important. I'm gonna say it again, because it's important. You know, your legacy, your story, your life, your triumphs, your victories, even your failures matter, because you can help your children and children's children not fail. The Bible is so important because it is a book of instructions. It's a book of accounts. It's a book of stories of people that had to learn how to work with the Father, Yah, God Almighty, and know how to go through this life. And it's because of them writing it down, telling their stories, that we can lean on their stories and read and glean from them and know how to learn the Father, learn how to live this life, learn how to raise our children, and how to become better stewards of His goodness, stewards of His mercy, stewards of the things that He does and wants to share with us. And so I want to encourage you, if you never thought that your story was important or it mattered, I want to remind you it does. I want to remind you it does. And if I can help you preserve your legacy and your story, scan that QR code. If you cannot see the QR code, here is the website. The website is yourlegacymoment.com. I want you to go to yourlegacymoment.com and I want you to read it. I want you to explore it, check it out, and see how I can help. How I can help, essentially create videos for you, help you document your story in book form, and ultimately help even with your end of life needs for like programs and print things and doing things to help your family during the time of your shifting. Because these things have to be talked about. Some of the free gifts that we give when you work with us or even have a consultation, as we will, of course, give you a free will and testament, which is how you can preserve your wealth, your legacy, right? If you are also needing to have some kind of insurance, some kind of life policy. We do have a $2,000 accidental death policy. So there are certain things that we are giving away free. There are more details about what we give away free that you will get when you onboard as a client. Or if you want to schedule a consultation, you can go to the website, yourlegacymoment.com, and then I can walk you, or my team can walk you through what is best for helping you to preserve your legacy and to do it now. The time to do it is now, when you're alive, when you are, Lord's willing, well, or when you're well enough to be able to communicate and convey what you would like, and we can help you to preserve your life, your legacy, of course, and share your life with your family, friends, and those that love and care about you. So I pray you do it sooner than later. I know some really great and powerful people to communities have passed away, and nobody wrote down what they did. And they were community advocates, they were grandfathers, they were a husband, they were a father-in-law, they were a lot of stuff, and nobody wrote it down. And now he's passed on, and now they have to pull odds and ends together. Don't wait till people pass to be able to bring their stories to a book, to a video, to an audio, to something where you will be able to give it to your children. Recipes is one of the biggest things I wish my family would have did better with, because some of my great grandmothers have passed and they had recipes that a lot of us will never have. And some of them we have, and others we got to guess. But why guess when someone is already mastered? So why should you miss out on what was already mastered by your ancestors when you could do better, faster, and raise your grandchildren to do the same? So I want to see our community start building. The way we do that is preserving our legacy, telling our stories, telling our history, and learning from our mistakes, our failures, and our successes. So don't worry if you feel like your book is a failure or your life has been a failure. There is ways to turn that around. The Father is really good at making a mess great. And I don't know how he does it. This is what makes him God, Yah, creator, almighty, Alpha and Omega. So if you find yourself there, I just want to give you that message of healing and restoration. And lastly, I would like to leave y'all with a prayer. Y'all know I'm an ordained minister and chaplain. So I try to just make sure I give you something that will be able to feed you beyond our live, my conversation. So I want to end with this. Father, in the mighty name of Yeshua, I just thank you, Jesus Christ, for all those that have been on this live, that have allowed me to pour into them, pour over their circumstances and lives. I pray, Father, for you to bless their families, bless their businesses, bless their goals, their relationships, their children, and their relationship with their children. I pray, Father, you mend things that are broken, that you restore things within them first, and allow them to see life the way you do. Allow them to be able to think higher and believe for more. Allow them to lean on you fully and put it all on the table, knowing that you got them. I thank you, Father, that your yoke is easy and your burden is light. I thank you, Father, for what you do. You say no good thing will you keep from us. So, Father, we trust that everything that's coming down, from political things to personal to mental to spiritual to financial to otherwise, that Father, you will work all of these things to our good. And I thank you, Father, for just ordering our steps and helping us to see life the way you intended for us to. May you bless everyone again that will watch the replay and that have been on this live and stayed with me for however long. I thank y'all. Thank you for the many that are supporting the books you've given me to share with your people and humanity. I pray that they change communities, families, peoples, individuals, hearts, minds, and souls. May all be well within their heart and mind today. May you give them peace. May they sleep well. For those that are not getting sleep, may this be one of the first days of them getting a perfect rest. And I pray, Father, you set the tone for them being able to release their pain, release their sorrow, release their worries, and lean and put them in your hands, one that is able to save, deliver, and set free. It's in the mighty name of Yeshua, Jesus the Christ, that we say hallelujah. And so be it. May y'all all be blessed. Enjoy this fantastic Wednesday and be safe. It's a lot of weather things going on out here today and etc. So so love y'all much. Definitely go and check out the different things I talked about today if that will bless you. I am author Kay Lee, and that is